Hi, today I'm going to demonstrate how to integrate Active Directory into Palo Alto Firewall. But we have two scenarios. We have one scenario is, let's say you have remote access VPN, you want to authenticate users using Active Directory users. So in that case, actually, we need to integrate with Active Directory. But in that case, actually, we are using LDAP, LDAP users. But here, in this demonstration, I'm planning to showcase how to integrate Active Directory in order to identify users based on their username. Let me explain my scenario here. Actually, the scenario is, let's say you have this Palo Alto firewall here. You have Palo Alto firewall, and you let's say you have one client here, Windows client. Let's say Windows client. Okay. So then, I'm sorry, Windows client. Okay, it's okay. So then, this is our Palo Alto firewall. So let's say this firewall is connected to the internet. So let's say one of the users, let's say this IP address of this client is, let's say, 172.16.1.15, and then let's say one user logging to this machine. This is a Windows machine, and here he is trying to access, let's say, internet. So when request comes to the firewall, actually firewall sees the IP address, source IP. So that is 172.16.1.15. But actual problem is, let's say initially, let's say today morning, the Sagar user Sagar is going to log into this machine. So then he's accessing the internet, because within the firewall actually we have a rule. Let's say 172.16.1.15. So that IP should be allowed to access the internet. Let's say in the evening there's another user logging to the machine, let's say Samyang. So then he also has the same access, because this IP is same for both the users. But when it comes to current dynamics in a dynamic environment, so actually we need to identify the user, and let's say we want Sagar to allow access internet, but we want Samyang to be blocked in order to when he's trying to access the internet. So in that case, actually, we need to identify these users using the username, not using the not using the IP address. So in that scenario, what we have to do is we have to identify these users separately. Let's say Samyank and Sagar. So in order to do that, what we have to do is we have to integrate. Let's say we have Active Directory. Let's say we have, this is our Active Directory. So in that case, actually, firewall should be integrated with the Active Directory, and then firewall can query this Active Directory and identify which user is logged into this machine at this moment. So let's say Sagar is logged into the machine. So actually within the Active Directory we have a security log. Within the security log, the firewall can identify, okay, at this moment the Sagar is the user who has logged into this machine. So then the Palo Alto firewall is going to put a mapping with its user database. So it's going to put a mapping at this moment. Actually, this IP belongs to this user Sagar. So then when a request comes to the firewall knows the user is Sagar. So actually within the firewall, actually we can put user-based policies. So we can put a policy, okay, user Sagar has the internet access, but user Samyang does not have internet access. So let's say in the evening, Samyang is going to log into this machine. So then that security log is going to be updated with the Active Directory, because actually the user is logging into the domain. These two users are domain users. So then, since the Active Directory has that information, because the Active Directory has the information 172.16.1.15 machine, the user Samyang has logged in. So in that case, firewall, because actually we are putting an interval. Let's say we have 10-second interval. Firewall is always querying this Active Directory. So using who are the users has logged into these machines, and the mapping. So firewall can update the mapping. So firewall has the mapping. Okay, now the user Samyang is logged into the 172.16.1.15. So then when that user tries to access this IP address is tries to access to the internet, so then firewall knows the user Samyang is within this machine, so he is going to block that connection, because actually there's no rule based on the user Samyang. So only the role is for this user Sagar. So actually that is the philosophy behind this Active Directory integration with the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, I think you got some kind of a overall idea how we can use this, setup in order to identify users based on their, actually, not based on their IP address, but based on their Active Directory username. So that's what we are going to implement here. Okay, so let's start the configuration using the Palo Alto firewall, because actually I have already implemented. Actually, we have the firewall. Here we have the firewall, and also we have Windows 10 machine, and also we have Active Directory. So all these three components has been already implemented. So let's start the configuration with the Palo Alto firewall, and also in the Active Directory we have to configure several things. So I'll show you those things when I'm configuring. So let's start the configuration now. Okay, let me log into the firewall. Okay, this is the firewall, and let me go to device tab. And within the device tab, we have this section called user identification. On your left side, you can see that. This is the section user identification here. This one, user identification. So let me go to that section, and this is the section you have to use in order to integrate with the Active Directory in order to identify users based on their username. Okay, so actually let me try to edit. So here you can see we have to provide a username. So actually, in order to integrate Palo Alto File with this Active Directory, actually we need the user who has these privileges. So let me tell you those privileges. Actually, this user should belong to these groups. The first group is uh, server operator. Server operator. The second group is event log readers. Event log. One moment. Let me move this to corner. The user should belongs to event log readers. And then distributed com users. Distributed com users. Okay, these are the three groups that we should assign to this user, which is going to be used as this Activity Integration Service account. Okay, so let me clear this. Okay, then let's log into the Active Directory and let's create this user. So this is my Active Directory. So let me log into the Active Directory using this administrator account first. Okay. So let me go to the users, computers and users section, and here let me create a user. Let me create a new user. Okay, let's put the name. Let's say Palo, and the last name, let's say Alto, and the full name is this. And let me put the username Palo Alto. Okay, this is the user. So let me click next, and let me deselect this user must change passwords next logon. So then let me put the password here. Let me confirm the password. Okay, so finish. So then let me assign this user to whatever the required groups. Let me go to properties and go to member of section, and let me add here. The first thing is, let's say, distributed com users. You can just click initial letters, and you can check the names and distributed com users. So then let me add the server operator group, server, and this. Then let me click the check names, server operator, and then the event log readers. I'm just typing event and check names, event log readers. So now our user is ready to integrate with the active Palo Alto firewall. So let me close this, and let me go to the Palo Alto firewall here. So then okay, so then let me put the username here, that is Palo Alto, and the domain, our domain, so we can check the domain from these Active Directory. So let me go to Active Directory users and computers. Here, see, this is domain. This is the domain firewall-life.local. So let me put the domain here. Firewall-life.local, and then the password. Actually, before that, let me showcase one thing. So let me go to my client machine, and within the client machine, let me log into using this account. This is a domain account, and let me log into this client machine here. This is Samyang Suresh, so they let me log in, and I'm trying to access the internet through this firewall. And I just want to confirm that since we do not have this integration yet, so we can't see any users within the firewall logs. So let me cancel this and let me log into the monitor, and let me see the logs here. Let me filter by the destination or the source IP. So that is my client IPs. Let me check my client IP. CPA.cpl. So here my client IP is that is let me go to details 172.16.1.15. So this is my Windows client. So let me go back to the firewall. Let me filter using the name. Okay, this is the one. So let me filter, and here you can see this is my ping request. Actually, this source user section is empty, so we do not have any source user, right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this, and no, I'm going to integrate it now. So I'm sorry. So let me go to device tab. Let me go to user identification, and here let me put the username, that is Palo Alto, and the domain is firewall-life.local, and my password for that user account. Okay, so then let me confirm the password. Okay, now it's fine. And so then let me go here. These things are, we can use the default timers here. Let me click OK. So then let me add the server. So this is my Active Directory server. Let me put the IP address, that is 172. My Active Directory IP is 172.16.1.50. I'm sorry, 172, right? Okay. So that is fine. Let me, because here the transport protocol we are using WMI here. We have several options, but here I'm using WMI. Let me click OK. So now let me commit. And before committing, I had to set the service route. Let me go to setup, because actually I want to tell firewall through which interface you are contacting the Active Directory in order to get this user database information. So in that case, actually I'm going to service routes, and I'm going to customize, and here we have UID agent, and let me select this. This is the interface which is directly connected to my Active Directory. So I'm clicking OK. So then let me commit. Let's wait for the commit operation. So let's wait. So this is a simple integration actually, but we can get a very I mean the advantage is a big advantage, because it says invalid WM account name, need domain username. So let me go back here. I think I put the username wrong way. So here yeah, I had to put the the domain here. The domain is firewall-life.local and /. So this should be the way you have to enter the username. I'm sorry, because I did it wrong way. So let me remove this, and let me try to commit again. So now our integration is fine. So let's verify the integration. So actually it's somewhat easy. So now what you have to do is you have to create a user within that directory. So that is the service account. So that user should belong to distributed COM users, event log readers, and server operators. So then you can use those information within this section, user identification section within the Palo Alto firewall. So then so I'm committing the configurations, and also you have to set the service route, because actually you have to mention which interface that firewall is going to contact the Active Directory. So actually I use my trust interface, because my Active Directory placed within the trust network. Now let me close this, and let me go to monitor and check whether I can see the user account now. Okay, before that I have a verification option. So let me go here. Let me log into firewall CLI 1.59. Okay, let me open the window. Why I can't? Okay, now I got the prompt. So let me change the font size. I think you can't see. Let me put the font size. So let me log into the firewall admin and let me put my password here. Okay, so I have a command show user server monitor statistics. Sorry, statistics. So here it says not connected. So that means our user having an issue. So let me go back here. Let me go back to my firewall and check whether we have an issue here. So it says not connected. 172.16.1.50. This is fine, and let me go here and check whether our user is fine. User is firewall. Okay, actually I missed. I have to do one thing. Actually I forget it. So let me go to the Active Directory. I missed it. Actually my Active Directory is shutting down because actually this is a trial machine, so it has the time limit, so it is getting shut down after that time limit. So let me boot it again. Let me pause the video and come once it's booted. Okay, I have just logged into my Active Directory. So let me go here, and I want to show you that you have to do this thing. You have to go to run, and you have to type this command because actually I typed it previously. WMI MGMT MSC WMI MGMT MSC. So let me write it here. So the command you should enter, or the within this run is WMI mgmt.msc. So actually we are using WMI, that is the protocol. WMI protocol, that is Windows Management Instrumentation is the protocol. So you have to go to that console in order to change, and we have to process several privileges, because actually I think sometimes you may think that we could be able to connect to this Active Directory using the file, because my Active Directory got shut down. No, that should not be the issue. Actually that should be an issue, but let me refresh here. So let me refresh. Let me discover. No, one moment. Let me refresh the window here, and okay, here's still it should not be connected because see, access denied. It says access denied. So that should be the reason. So but previously it was not connected. Sometimes that is the reason for that is my Active Directory got shut down. But here now it's let me clear this and show you. I think you can see it is access denied because actually we do not have privileges to access the this information using WMI. I mean, that's a security log should be accessed using WMI, and we have to get the mapping, the IP and the username mapping from the Active Directory. So let me fix this issue. Let me go back to Active Directory, and we have to set that privilege here. Let me go to this and let me go to properties, and you have to go to security tab, and you have to select this WMI v2, sorry, CIM v2, I'm sorry, this option, this section. So then let me you have to select it, and you have to go to security, and you have to add the user here. I think we have added the user service count, that is Palo Alto, in order to integrate with the firewall, in order to identify user mapping. So I added the user, and I have to select the user, and I have to enable these things. Enable account should be there. It is already there. Remote enable, this should be enabled. I think you saw what I did change, right? This option, remote enable. Okay, now it's fine. So let me click apply and okay. So now you should be able to see the previous window. Previously it was access denied, now it should be connected. So let me go back to firewall, and let me refresh this window, and this is access denied, but it should be changed to the connected status. Let's see whether we are, yeah, see, now it's connected. Now it's connected because now we have the privileges to access the Active Directory user mapping within the security log. So let me clear this, and now let me go to firewall, and let me see, because actually we have active ping going on within this. Before that, let me showcase few commands within the active the firewall. So the previous command we entered, show user server monitor statistics. This is an important command. I think it's better if you can remember this command, or otherwise you can just Google and identify, no problem, or Google and find, no problem. Okay, let me try to enter this command, because previous actually our status was not connected. Now it should be changed to the connected status. So let me enter the command. See, now it's connected. See, now it's connected, so that means it is properly configured. So then let me show you another important command. One moment. Uh, okay, here let me enter that command. Show user uh, IP user mapping all. So here you can see all the user mappings. Actually, I think you saw that we logged into this our client machine using the user Samyak, right? This is our user machine IP, and also we can see the mapped user. This is Samyak. So that means we have the mapping. Actually, the firewall learned this mapping using the Active Directory security log. So then what we are going to do is we have already running a ping request within this client machine, I guess. So let me log into my client machine and see whether we have that ping request. I think it is running. Yeah, it is running. So let me enter, and let me go back to my file and see whether I can see this user mapping. Let me go to monitor, because previously we didn't see that. Now we should be able to see the user mapping here. Yeah, I think we can't see that, because let me go to zone section and trust zone, and here enable protection and enable user identification. Let me put this check mark and click OK, and let me commit it here. Let's wait. So now most probably we should be able to see the source user, because actually previously we only saw this IP, that is 172.16.1.15, but now since the user Sagar, I guess, right? Sagar or Samyak. So let me check. It's Samyak actually. Samyak is logged into the machine. See. So now we should be able to see that user within the firewall itself. I mean within the security. Within the traffic log. So then using that user, actually we can put security policies based on the users. Let me go out to monitor, see whether we are uh, still we can't see the user. So what could be the reason? So one moment. See, now we can see the user. Now it's fine. So see, now we can see the user, because actually it takes some time to get these new logs populated within the firewall, because we just enable the user identification within the zone. So see, now we can see the user, source user. I think you see here, right? So this is the source user. See, this is our source user, firewall life Samyang. So that means firewall can identify users. So let me do one thing. So let me log into this my machine using Sagar user. So then we should be able to see Sagar, because actually same machine, but we are logging using some different user. Let me sign out, and okay, so then let me log in here. This is Samyak. Let me log in using the user Sagar. Let me enter the password here. This is also Active Directory user. Let me log in. Sagar Tendulkar. So let me go back. Let me start the ping request here again. Ping 8.8.8 / continuous ping. So let me go back to the firewall and let me refresh. Previously it was Samyak. Now I should be able to see Sagar. Still we can't see, because actually it takes some time these logs to get updated. Let's wait. See, now you can see, now the user is Sagar here. See, this user is Sagar now. Let me get the magnifier and show you. I think sometimes you can't see that. Magnifier. See, previously it was Samyak, now it's Sagar. Actually the same IP. So this is the beauty of this Active Directory integration. Active Directory integration. So you can identify the user based on their username. So actually what we can do is we can put a policy. Let me put a policy. Let's say actually I have a one policy. Let me edit that policy. Here let me put let's say source user. So here I'm going to put username here, source user. Source user, let's say file life slash, let's say I'm allowing only the Sagar user. So let me click OK, let me commit. Actually, let we have a problem actually at this moment. Actually, I do not have a net role. That net role is not related to this demonstration, but let me configure that net role because without a net role, actually we can't ping because we have to have a source net here. I'm just putting the net role. Don't think about this because it is totally out of this demonstration. Trust and untrust, and this is okay. Translation here. Let me copy translate interface. And I'm just doing translation using don't think about this because this is totally out of this demonstration. My purpose of this demonstration is to just to integrate Active Directory within the Palo file in order to identify users, but the problem is actually I can't access internet because since I do not have this net role. So let me wait for this commit. Okay, so let me go back to policies and check what is the policy. Actually, at this moment I have the source user, that is Sagar. So I think I have logged into the machine using the user Sagar. See how I can ping now. So because the policy is matching, so let me log into this machine using the user Samyang. So then Samyang should not be able to ping because within the firewall actually I allow only traffic. I only allow this ping request for the user Sagar. So let me log into the machine using Samyang. So the user Samyang should be blocked. CMD ping 8.8.8/t. This should not work. See, I can't ping. So let me go to firewall policies and check. Let me highlight the policy actions. Okay. Here, this is Sagar. He's allowed. He can access this 888 server. See, now Samyang is getting blocked. So let me get the magnifier and show you. See, the Samyang is getting blocked because we do not have such a security role. So I think you see the beauty, right? So we can actually filter filter people using their usernames, not using their IP addresses. Because if two users are using the same machine, no problem. We can filter using the username, using this Active Directory integration. So I think now and you understood so how to integrate this Active Directory into the Palo Alto firewall in order to get the user information database. So and also you understand the importance or the requirement for this integration. Okay, I think that's enough for this demonstration. Thank you for your time.